Hello everybody, this is Mary Stock and this is the Bundesliga Boys. Now, what's the Bundesliga Boys? I want to thank you, by the way, for coming today because I'm really appreciating this. This is our very first show and we are planning to keep on rolling all the way up to the World Cup. So stay with us because the Bundesliga boys are the core of the U.S. the U.S. team, and we've got, shall we say, let's talk about that. We've got Bobby Wood, and Bobby Wood is a fantastic striker, and I'm going to tell you all about him and his family. We've got who else but Christian Pulisic. Christian Pulisic is Mr. America. That's what they call him in Dortmund, and that's what they call him in Germany. And then we have got Fabian Johnson. Fabian is fabulous. He is probably the second best player after Christian. He is really good. Oh, I forgot John Brooks. God, John is a back, and he is very good. He's works for Hertha Berlin. Hertha Berlin is his club over there, and that's about it. It's not all of it though, because we're going to tell you all about them and the Millennials. Now, why am I giving you Millennials? Millennials are like 18, something like that, 16, 17, 18. The Millennials that are working there now, playing in Germany, are the ones who will be our team in 2022 and 2026. All right? So that is very important because 2026, even though it seems so far away, is indeed the possibility they'll be playing here in the States. The States will be hosting the World Cup. That's a very good possibility. And that's a possibility also when we could possibly win the World Cup. That's what everybody's looking for. And the people who will be doing that are these people right here. And I'm going to tell you about some of them. Bobby Wood was born and brought up in Hawaii and California. He was found by a German team scouting for people in California at the age of 14. He went to Germany. Now everything's going along fine, okay? Bobby Wood loves striking. He is a fantastic striker now, but at that time he got in some trouble. He had a coach who wanted to, shall we say, humiliate him in front of the entire audience, in front of all of his teammates, everything. Bobby having that hot temper that's so good for a striker, but not so good if you're talking to your coach, he said something that I can't repeat. Let's put it that way. I'm not talking about the first reserves or the second reserves, but maybe the third reserves. I mean, he was put way down in the cellar and he wasn't playing. Now, not playing means your progress gets stopped right there. And so Bobby Wood sat around for 2 years or so, and then he was sitting on the bench for longer. Finally, they fired this coach, but Bobby had it. During this time, our friend, Coach Jürgen Klinsmann, is looking around for people, and he finds Bobby down in the reserves, in the cellar. And here, this is the national team. But what did he do? He said, "Hey, Bobby, why don't you come down to one of our camps and let's see how you do." Well, I tell you, that is when That is when I saw Bobby. And I have to laugh because Bobby, he made such mistakes out there. And then he'd go, he was so humiliated because he made these mistakes. He was not getting any practice on the field. Doesn't matter. Klinsmann keeps calling him in and calling him in. Everybody's wondering why he's calling him Bobby Wood. Because Bobby Wood looked like an 8th grader out there. Seriously, I love Bobby Wood. But I tell you, Bobby Wood really started very far down without any practice. So this went on, as I said, for a while. Bit by bit, Klinsmann used him for 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, in one or the other of a friendly, something like that. And gradually he got better and better, but he was a sensational striker. So Klinsmann, being the showman that he is, and he is quite a showman, he knows how to show you off if he wants to. He knows how to put you in the best scenery so that you look fabulous. And it came 2015, and June 10th and June 15th. And I remember it, and I almost could cry listening or watching. Bobby was put in the Netherlands game. Yes, we were playing the Netherlands, number 4 in the world, that had just won number 4 in 2014. So he put in Bobby the last 15 minutes. Well, Bobby did what Bobby does. He got the ball square in front of the goal, and he slammed that in, and he won. They won the game, something like 4-3 or something like that, 4-2, and nobody, all the Europeans couldn't believe it. The Americans can't win this. They can't win this. We could not. No. Oh, this is terrible. But for us, it was fantastic. Now, there were other reasons why all this came together. And they were, in fact, that Klinsmann, as Klinsmann does, for the whole week before, had been doing psychologizing, as he calls it, with the guys, teaching them to believe in themselves. And they actually believed it. They did, and it worked. We won. Well, that was the 10th of June. The 15th of June, Klinsmann goes to his old hangout. He used to be coach of the German national team. Now he's there, and his assistant is the chief coach. And he's a very competitive guy, Klinsmann. But he could do nothing about it. Once a soccer team gets on the pitch, nobody, it's not like American football. You can't call the plays like the coaches do. They can't do anything. They have to do. They have to do what they figure, the boys have what they figure out. So I'll be darned. In 4 minutes, the Germans broke them down. 4 minutes. But did they stop? No, they didn't stop. They came back, and they came back, and they came back. And that was sensational. It went around the world. They won. They beat them. And who got the winning goal? Bobby Wood. So it's just so great to think about that each time, because you should see, there's a very famous picture of the German defender standing over there with like this, and Bobby Wood going like this. it's just fabulous. It's just fabulous. Now, then Bobby Klinsmann says to Bobby, you've got to get a job where you are out playing every single game. Now, it just so happens that at that German game, the whole German coaching group were there. There were people from all over Europe, coaches from all over Europe in the stadium. And they saw Bobby's goal, the final goal, and it was fabulous. So there were many people, many clubs after him at this point, many clubs. That's what television can do for you if you've got the right showman and if you are good at what you do. So he went with Union Berlin, which is a kind of funky football or soccer club in Berlin. And it worked out well. They loved him. He was on every single week. They never had him on the bench. He was always a starter. And he learned very, very quickly. So he got, I think, 17 goals that year. This is from Bobby going like this, making 8th grader mistakes. Amazing. He got 17 goals that year, which was the most goals of any non-German that had ever been made in Berlin or in Germany. So he broke a couple or 3 records, and it was fabulous. So he was at Union Berlin for that year, and it comes to the end of the year, and who comes over but a team that sounds like something we're very familiar with, and that's Hamburger. Hamburger SV. Some people call it Hamburg. I don't know why, but it's called both things. And that was a very old and very, very decorated team. When Klinsmann found out that they had asked Bobby to come over and be on their team, he was just so proud, and he should have been. So Bobby is now on Hamburger SV. He gets the goals that he can get there, and he's just finished his 8th one. He just made his 8th one yesterday. This is the 8th one in the season. And he's got the rest, the other half. So that looks like if he stays the same, it's going to be about like 15 to 17 goals, which is fabulous, fabulous. And Hamburger itself, though, is having trouble. There are 10 other players, and it's having trouble. So we'll have to see where he ends up, but he's surely going to end up in the Bundesliga. He's a very, very valuable player for us. Goals are everything, and you're going to love him when you watch him. And Fabian Johnson is the son of a former American serviceman and a German mother. And he came up with all of the guys that are now on the German national team. He missed getting on the German national team because he got sidelined over into a team which didn't give him much time on the pitch. And if you don't get much time, you don't get the practice in, you don't get the knowledge, the increased knowledge that comes from muscle knowledge, when you just have to have that. So He did not get on the national team, but we and Jurgen Klinsmann were more than happy to find out that Fabi did not get on the thing, and so he is now a member of our national team, and is probably the second best player on the team. I hope you got some kind of a feel for these guys, and I'm just sort of spouting this stuff at you, but we're going to have a lot of really depth stuff, because I don't want to take the whole USMNT. I want to take the best guys and get in close and personal. So I want to thank you very much. I am really honored that you have come here to see me, taken your time and come here to see me. I love soccer. I hope you love it as much as I do. Okay? So thank you again. I really seriously mean that. Come to see us. Check us out in a couple of weeks. And I'll be here, and I want to see you. Thank you so much.